Ben & Jerry's topped salted caramel brownie. Continuing with the whole topped lineup, recently released. I think this is the third, I believe it's the third of 7 that I've scooped. Anyways, plenty more to come out of this top lineup. And I think this is probably one of the safer moves they made in the whole topped series. So it's vanilla ice cream with salted caramel swirls, fudge brownies, and all that is topped with that chocolate ganache layer with, and this time is sprinkled with caramel cups. And you can see pretty much a little bit of everything here. There's not much salted caramel at the moment, but hopefully we'll get to some after we dig through these top layer of mix-ins. So, like I've said before, I can't remember, oh, it was topped tiramisu. The ganache layer, like, I catch myself wanting more and more than that. I've saved some here, but it's perfect in every way. Sweet, not too sweet, very rich. I can maybe go for a little more salt, but for ganache, it's pretty darn good. The richness, the whole, just a smooth consistency. It literally, it just melts away in your mouth. Almost like a gooey brownie, but a little denser than that. Firm, but your spoon cuts right through it very nicely. And in that ganache layer, which I'll come back and critique on this later, but we have these caramel cups. Imagine like a mini peanut butter cup, like a mini Reese's peanut butter cup, but filled with caramel. So here it's a little more, it's not as buttery. It's definitely more of that caramelized, sugary sweetness. And the chocolate is more of a, whereas the ganache was rich, the chocolate here is more of a milk chocolate. More sweet, basically. Love the texture too. So amidst that soft ganache, the chocolate of these cups, the outer chocolate layer, has a slight crunch. You bite into it and you get a little soft crunch, I should say. But in the inside, it's got that gooey caramel stickiness. Almost like the inside of a Rolo, basically. Thick, gooey, perfect consistency for these caramel cups. Now, I'll be honest, I am really enjoying this vanilla. I don't remember Ben & Jerry's vanilla being this good. Which brings up a good point. I should actually scoop their plain vanilla ice cream, since I've had so many other vanillas, to see how it compares. But here it's vanilla. Far from the best, but pretty good. And this is what I meant when I said by Ben & Jerry's playing it safe here. They just had I don't want to say generic, but you know what I mean, a basic background in order to let all the mix-ins and the top layers, the swirls to everything else kind of take hold and run the show for this ice cream pint. But then we run into a few issues. Let's start with the brownies. You might be able to tell if I can get close enough, but the brownies are, it really blows my mind. I don't know what's going on here. They're basically like cut into cubes. Some are super gooey, super moist, super chewy, and others, while they're still chewy, are fairly dry, and they kind of crumble apart when my spoon hits it. Let's just see if you can tell. So here's a gooey one. So it'll stay on my spoon. It's soft, no, great texture. But right here, I don't know if you can tell, this one's very much more drier. Excuse my vocabulary. It's a lot drier. And it's not terrible. It's not like it's rock hard crumble apart, but there's certainly a distinguishable difference. I'm going to say about half and half. Half of these brownies are dry and half are moist. That's a strange issue to have. The good thing is they do have a great fudge brownie flavor. You've all had brownies. This is them. Fudgy, sweet, richness, different rich than the ganache. So you kind of have three different chocolates going on here between the brownie, the ganache, and the chocolate surrounding the caramel cup. So that is one perk to the ice cream. You might be wondering, where's the swirl? I am too. I'm probably 3/4 of the way down now, maybe 2/3. Finally hitting a little pool of it here. So the issue here is the fact that it's lacking. And that's pretty much it. Nice, thick, gooey swirl with some density to it. And it's actually pretty salty. Great flavor. Buttery, salty, a little sweet. Not as sweet as the caramel cups. So that's also another perk, having a saltier caramel versus the sweeter ones that were in the chocolate. Big issue though, where's my caramel swirl? Obviously, Ben & Jerry's playing it safe, and it would have been great. It definitely would have paid off had it not been for the QC hiccups. The salted caramel swirl, definitely lacking. I polished off the pint and there's only, I only came across one more little pool of the caramel. In the brownies, it's kind of, it blows my mind how some can be, super, very moist, very gooey, and some are on the drier side. And I also think, and I might critique this on all the top flavors, I think I enjoyed the caramel cups a lot, but I almost want them mixed throughout. It's kind of, I find myself picking through them at the top and saving them to go with the rest of my ice cream. I think for these lineups, I still have, 4 more to scoop, but I think I'd like just a straight up ganache layer and then go with all the mix-ins. Nonetheless, still a good scoop with good flavors, but this is an example of a pint that could be tremendously better if those quality control issues were addressed. Salted caramel brownie gets a 6 out of 10.